Hello, what's up, beautiful people? I am Rain of Raining Success Coaching at rainingsuccess.com. And if you are anything like me, you desire to be the best mother in the universe. I know I can't do it all. I know that. But that doesn't mean I don't want to. I want to be the best mother I can possibly be. I understand the influence that I have in raising my child, and I understand what my awareness, this braid just won't do what I want it to do. I understand that my awareness of who I am to my son and how I act and things of those natures can really impact him in a positive way. So I want to get into some really quick things that can assist us in parenting in a more intentional way. One thing is creating a schedule. Okay, look. Create a schedule, prepare, and write it all down. I don't even do this all the time, and I get so frustrated with myself. Like, this works. Why don't you do it? But I'm someone who feels like that bit of accomplishment once I'm able to cross something off my list. And me seeing a list helps me get things done, and in the order, I do them in order as I have them. I try to order them from, depending on the schedule. I was going to say from easiest to most difficult, but it does depend on the schedule. But writing a list just helps so much. Right now, I have a calendar on the refrigerator, and it has the classes that I'm going to, his classes, any meetings that I have, reminders and everything, because writing things down helps hugely. You're not forgetting about it. You're not stressing over something you're supposed to remember, but you can't remember. And it allows you to get things done and feel accomplished about getting them done. Because once you do, okay, I always talk so much. I said I'm gonna give some short tips, and I give like 50 examples to each thing. But the other day I had on my agenda to do a blog, to call and see about a venue, to revamp one of my challenges, and to finish creating a course. And I have the outline. I wanted to basically have everything done on paper and just me needing to transfer it to the computer. And as I'm crossing these things out, I did feel accomplished. And also I realized how much more went into something. So now I know to give myself more time. Does that make sense? Like that, what was the first thing that I said? Writing a blog. That blog took forever because I needed to get a picture for that blog post. And then with the blog post, I was like, how can I be more helpful to those who read this blog? And then I created a product. It was a free product. It's a freebie, but still, I created that for them, and the blog ended up taking hours. But because it took hours, because I was focused on it, I was able to cross that out. It made me feel really good and made me feel really accomplished. And especially with parenting my son, I'm still nursing my son. He'll be 2 soon. So it made me feel really accomplished and really proud of myself as a parent. Let's get into the next thing before I keep talking y'all ear off about that. Another thing that can assist us is allowing ourselves to make mistakes. I'm so far from perfect, and so many times I've always been really hard on myself, and I know a lot of other women, regardless of if you're a mother or not, like before you became a mother, were really hard on themselves, and that doesn't stop when you become a mother. So, an example is recently my son, he doesn't like brushing his teeth. So every time he brushes his teeth, it's an episode, and he's so dramatic. So it's a situation every time. The other day, he wound up with a scratch. Now, I don't know if it was me or it was him, because he's flailing, is that a word? He's moving his hands everywhere, and I'm trying to keep him still to brush his teeth, and I don't recall his hands being there, but my hands weren't there either. But either way, he got scratched, and I was so distraught. Anytime he hurts himself, something happens to him, I'm like, I get mad at him for hurting himself. Like, don't you hurt my baby, like. So I felt really, really bad. And just the other day, his great grand bought him this Thomas. He loves Thomas the Train. Bought him this like little Thomas toy. He was smiling and so happy he wanted to take a nap with it. and my son is extremely clumsy. He gets that from me. And I'm like, baby, be careful, be careful. So I'm not gonna argue with you. You can take this, you can sleep with this really uncomfortable Thomas if you want to. But what ended up happening was, because he's so clumsy and isn't paying much attention, doesn't quite understand how gravity works yet, he ended up holding the Thomas by his head or moving his hand, and it hit him in the face. And I'm like, mommy told you this was gonna happen, it's okay, calm down. And then when he looked up at me, he had like a knot. And of course I babied the mess out of him. Oh my God, let me see it. Like, I was supposed to do something that day. I didn't do it. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Shut everything down. My bad. Do we need to go to the hospital? Like, but it really hurt my feelings. Of course, when he's hurting, I'm hurting. But I told myself, like, wow, these are things that I'm going to have to deal with as a mother, because my god sister was telling me about when her son broke his arm, and these things happen, especially because I have a boy, and I really have to deal with the fact that they happen, or even me making a mistake and feeding him certain things. Your child might be allergic to something that you're not aware of. There's no way for you to know, if I'm not mistaken, unless they eat it, or maybe the doctors have a way, I don't know. And there's so many things that so many choices that we have to make. And people say there's not a handbook or there's not a manual to this. There is. There's a bunch of manuals to it. But who's to say that's going to work for you? So all you can do is trial and error. And here's the thing. When you make a decision, because you have to make a decision, lack of a decision is always the worst decision. When you make a decision and it doesn't work out, that's okay. Because now you know the right things to do, So now going forward, you know this to do. Had you not made a decision, you would have been stressing over not making a decision, and something would have went wrong because you didn't make a decision. Either way, right? And you still would not have known what was the right or the wrong thing to do. So we're not perfect. Yes, we are parents, and yes, we have to guide this human being to being a great person, to having integrity, and loving themselves. We gotta raise them, make sure they still breathing. And it sucks sometimes when we make mistakes, but allow yourself to make mistakes. You're not perfect, so it's okay.